Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a layout for the Peartree Cutfiles design team. So let me jump in and show you the cut file that I decided to choose. This cut file has been in the shop for a while. It's called Collecting Apples, and I thought it was the perfect cut file to use for a trip that my boyfriend Dale and I recently went on to the orchard, and we got some cider slushies. So the first thing I did was I cut the cut file out with some white cardstock, and then I decided to use the contour function, and I decided to cut a few pieces of pattern paper. Now all the pattern papers that I'm using are from the Simple Stories Cider and Donuts collection, and it's a perfect collection for fall. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding some of the pieces. Now with the contour function, once I got the pieces that I wanted for each color or for each pattern paper, then I added a little bit of an offset, like 0.1 or 0.2, I think. And that way it would give me just a little bit larger color backing paper so that I could glue them to the back of my cut file. Now you'll see off to the left of my screen there, the little pieces for the apple, I did not do that. I just used the straight contour function, and that's how I got the apples. So I will just drop the apples in later. Now I haven't perfected the perfect contour feature where adding an offset is going to match up exactly. I'm still working on that, but it's trial and error. So that's why I had to grab my scissors here and just trim off a little bit of excess that is showing from outside the cut files. Now the green cardstock, that was from my stash, but the rest of the pattern papers that I'm using on the whole layout are all from that Simple Stories Cider and Donuts collection. So you see right here, I just grabbed my scissors and I'm just trimming out just a little bit of where that's sticking out. But using that feature, it is handy because I don't have to do as much cutting, and I'm not using as much paper either. So I think it's worth it to try to use that feature. And I don't claim to be an expert with it. I just play around and I click on and then click off and then see what it looks like. So if you haven't tried out the contour function, I encourage you to try it. And you can't get familiar with it until you try it. So just click on, click off, and see what you get. So, and you can do, you know, just a few pieces at a time, and that's what I did here so that I could do each of the different colors. Then I added an offset for the entire cut file, and that's this piece here, that craft paper. And so that's what I'm going to glue the entire cut file down to because I wanted just a little bit of a shadow. I am going to be working on a piece of white cardstock. And so with my cut file being in white, I thought it would really just pop off my page if I used a little craft cardstock to give it a little bit of a border. So I'm adding some glue here, and I'm using the Nuvo Deluxe glue. And this is a glue that I like to use with my cut files because if any seeps out around the edges, it dries completely clear. So you can see here, I've got all of that glued down, and now I'm just gonna pop in those little apples. So I've got a little bit of a lip for a craft cardstock there, and then I'm just piecing in each little apple to where they go. And I really liked the pattern paper being in the plaid, just a little something different than your normal red apple. So I'll continue working through these until I get each of the apples glued down, and then we'll move on and start building this layout. Okay, so I did finish the rest of those. I just had a couple left that I did off camera, and here are my photos. I've got 4 photos. So the top left, that's me. And then the top right photo, that is what we got at the orchard. So we had apple cider slushies, and they make those right there at the orchard. And I don't know if you've ever had one, but they are so good. And when we went, it was pretty warm outside still. And so I just thought it was so refreshing. Then the bottom left photo, that's Dale and I outside of one of their trucks there at the orchard. And then Dale, my boyfriend Dale's on the right. So what I'm doing here is I'm gutting a piece of cardstock, or pattern paper. So you set your paper at the 1-inch mark, and then you take your trimmer, the blade, place it at the 1 inch and go up to 11, and then you rotate the paper and repeat from 1 inch to 11. And so that's so that I can preserve that pattern paper and I can use it on a different layout. Now you'll see on my 4 photos there, I do print those at home on my Epson PictureMate 400, and that's a great, easy to use photo printer. And then I printed it with a white border around the edge. And I've added a little bit of craft foam here to the back of my cut file just to pop it up off the page. And the pattern paper that I put behind my photos there, I did go in and edge distress around the edges. I did that off camera. So I think my page is really starting to come together. I like the way this is looking. Now off camera, I went in and pulled a few of the embellishments from the Cider and Donuts collection. I found a couple tags. I've got that cute little squirrel up there on the upper right. And then I added a little bit of Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo, just so that they wouldn't get lost on the page. And now I'm adding a few little foam pieces, craft foam, to the back of the embellishments that I chose. So I've got this cute little flower, this little flower cluster I'm going to add to the upper left of my photo. And then I really like that banner sticker, so I'm going to add that underneath my photos. And then now I'm bringing in a crocodile, and this is just so that I can cut the hole in each of these tags. So when I first put the tags on the layout, I thought that bottom tag that I wanted to journal on there. But then later I'm going to change my mind on that and decide to put some stickers on it. So let me go ahead and get these couple items glued down. And that was just some dead space up there in my photo. So I like adding the sticker over top, and I'm not actually covering up anything in my photo. Okay, now I have a little bit of ribbon and some twine that I'm going to add to these tags just to give them a little more visual interest. And I'm one that I don't like to leave a naked tag. So I think it has to have something covering the hole or in the hole. So I like this method. So you poke the ribbon through the tag, and then you take just a little bit of twine and then tie it here. I actually learned this method from Erin Jacobson over on her YouTube channel, and it's called Crafty Concepts with Erin. So I saw her do that one time, and I thought, oh, that is the cutest way to add ribbon. So I did that on the top one, and then for the second one, I'm just going to go in and thread it through and then go back through again. So I'm going to trim this tag down a little bit. I already have my photo block there glued down. And I found these. Oh my gosh, I love these. I love this about Simple Stories, that they have these decorative brads. I think that's what they're called, decorative brads. Yeah. And they're just so pretty. They have so much detail to them. Now, I didn't like all the white space down here on the bottom because I do want to put a title down here. So I'm pulling out a stencil from my stash and some fossilized amber Distress Oxide ink. And I think it's kind of hard to see here on camera, but maybe you can see it in the close-ups. I will have close-up photos over on my Instagram and my Facebook page, and I'll leave those linked down below. I would love for you to follow me on those as well. That one, I think you can kind of see the inking a little better. So I'm just tapping off my brush here so that I don't get a big blob of ink, but I'm adding this fossilized amber, and this fossilized amber is a great complementary color to all of the papers that are in this collection. Okay, so I've got that arranged. I think that looks super cute. And so I'm going to add a little bit more of just the inking around the edges and a little spot over here with the stencil. And you see how that stencil, it just really adds a lot. Now I pulled some of these stickers from my stash, and they are not my favorite. I'll be honest. I think I got these free with a purchase on scrapbook.com before, and I love that they have great freebies, but these stickers, they just didn't want to stick. So I'm having to pick up each of the stickers one by one and add with my reverse tweezers and add a little bit of the Nuvo glue. And I used a ruler there just to keep everything straight across. All right, so I am taking now some of the decorative brads, and I have a glue dot here. And then I'm going to take some thread and just make a little tangled thread glue dot sandwich with this brad up here. And it just adds so much, I think, to your floral clusters when you do this. So I've got one up here, and then I've got these two brads over here on the tag. So I've got 3 total on my layout, and I like to do things in sets of 3. So I think that looks super cute. Okay, I'm going to add a little adhesive behind these tags because I realized that I had not glued those down. And then for my little squirrel there, I'm going to put a little foam behind him and get him popped up. Okay, so here's where I'm adding the foam to the back of that squirrel, just to give him a little bit of extra dimension so that he really stands out. I think that sticker is super cute. I love that one. So here's where I'm deciding that I don't want to use that tag up there for journaling. I actually want to add some stickers to it. So I'm going to look through the sticker sheet and find some. So I pulled out a few here. This one says cider. And then I'm going to pull this one here. And this one says glorious fall. And I'm looking for various colors. So I've got this one. It says glorious fall. And then I'll pull one more off the sheet that says smiles. And I think that that is just perfect to describe our day because we were all smiles with these slushies. Okay, so I have that done. I'm looking on the sticker sheet to see if there's anything else. And I really like this sticker too. It's got a little acorn and some leaves. So that looks cute. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I can add. And in the end, I decided that I think it looks good. So I used my little my dies to cut my journaling strips. I've done that in several videos before, and these are perfect for when you just want to write your journaling. So I write my journaling out and then cut them apart. So I said we enjoyed apple cider slushies at Edgewood Orchards after church, fall 2024. So just simple journaling to say where we were and what we did and that and what the date was. So that is going to wrap up today's layout. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you will subscribe and come back. Again, I'll have still shots over on Facebook and Instagram, and I'd love for you to follow me there. And I will have links to all the products that I use down below in the description box. I always appreciate when you shop my links, as that helps support me and my YouTube channel. Be sure to head over to the Peartree Cutfiles website to see all the gorgeous cut files that they have available right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!